Okay, hello. And some of the feedback that I've gotten is, oh, wow, interesting, love it. Total Living BSD, better, stronger, doing what matters. Good stuff, great stuff. Got some thoughts on it I'd like to share with you, so on and so forth. But tell me, who are you? And what is your background that you should, share such things? So I thought it'd be a great opportunity to get to know each other a little bit more on a personal level. So my background is essentially that number one, let me just be totally transparent. The things that I'm sharing through this series are really not my own innovations. It's really just sharing the waters of wisdom from the masters that I've learned it from the source text that I've learned from. And I'm not alone on this journey. I take a lot of comfort in that. If you ever ask me what these sources of wisdom are and who the masters are, please reach out to me through Twitter, Facebook, my homepage. I'll be glad to share those particular sources on whichever topic that you happen to hear me quote. That being said, the way I was raised, and I grew up in the States, in Atlanta, Georgia, so I'm a Southern boy. At least that's part of my background, and that's why maybe you'll hear a little bit of a twang when sometimes I get on a roll or on a rant. That being said, um, I wasn't raised observant. I came to embrace my Jewish background much later in life when I was 18. And then after 4 years, 2 years of learning in Israel, and 2 years learning in the States, and then 2 years learning in Israel. Speaking of which, I was there during the Persian Gulf War, flew in 2 weeks before the Gulf War broke out. Lots of interesting stuff. My mother was definitely thrilled about that. Um, at any rate, I met my wife, who's also from the States, there, and we got married. And now, 20 years later, we have 9 children, thankfully, and we're very busy. And within that context, also been in the business world for the last 20 plus years, and specifically in the IT sector for the last 15 years. So it's been definitely an interesting journey. So what really is fascinating me and kind of what pushed this series forward is something I've always been wanting to do, and really the series reflects a lot of conversations I've had, both with friends, with colleagues, coworkers, and there's a common theme throughout. And so that common theme all centers around my personal passion, which is what is the reality behind reality? There's just so much complexity going on in life and the way things are happening, and especially the disruption and the acceleration of technology, which I personally find fascinating. It really just seems to underscore this concept that there's a oneness that brings it all together. So that really is kind of the driving force both behind my personal passion. How do we connect the dots in our day-to-day, everyday lives and in all the different aspects and bring it all together in a holistic way, in a meaningful way, in a purposeful way that allows us really to be the best we can be and have, make the best life, the best world possible. So I hope that gives you a little bit of insight. And if there's more that you'd be curious about or a little more extra, look at my LinkedIn profile if you want to see a little bit more of my professional background, or feel free to connect with me on social, Twitter, Facebook, or my homepage, Total Living BSD. And if there's specific personal nuggets that you might be curious about or want some more perspective on, feel free to ask and we'll see what we can do. Until then, take care.